Yeah.
So you need to do an investment in terms of furniture, listing, management, training your team about the apartment, getting your reviews and everything.
Pictures. Yeah.
But you don't have certainty that the contract will be more than 1 year. In reality, in Dubai, almost 2 years you always have it because of the RERA regulations. But still, there is a lot of uncertainty. If the landlord sells the apartment in the middle of the first year, you're done. To answer your question, the key to succeed.
Hello, everyone. Today I have the honor guest, Oriol Plana. I'm very happy to be here with you, Oriol. I have so many questions I want to ask you. So let's dive into it. I think I would like to start for those who don't know you. If you could share with us a little bit more about your story, what got you started on Airbnb, and maybe we can start from there. How about that?
Excellent. So first of all, thanks for hosting me. So the story, I was born in Barcelona. I came to Dubai 12 years ago as a consultant. It was a 1-week project, and this 1-week project turned out to be a 12 years 12 years project. So I'm very happy in Dubai. I love the region. I love the vibe in the city in terms of business, personal life, and all these type of things. And then after 5-6 years of consulting with my friend Mickey from Barcelona, also we decided to create HiGuest, which is a holiday homes operator, property manager, short-term rental. There are so many names of the industry, but basically what we do is we manage apartments on behalf of property owners. So we do the management model. Now that there is a lot of different models, we focus on share revenue. We get a cut from the bookings value, and we created around it a whole company to service the guest, the host. We do facility management and all this.
Amazing. And I'm curious, the consulting business that you're mentioning was something related with the Airbnb or management?
No, it was a strategic consulting firm.
Gotcha.
I mean, our focus was go-to-market strategy, a bit of supply chain, and we did a lot of projects in Saudi Arabia, in Dubai, in the UAE, and I mean, it's a global organization. We were just in the office of the region of the Middle East and Africa.
Got it. So what got you in the first place? What made you choose, let's say, Airbnb property management as like why did you pick it?
Yeah. So after consulting with, I said, with my friend Mickey, we were like discussing that we wanted to do something together. We had this entrepreneurial bug inside us, and we wanted to do something. So we kind of analyzed the different business ideas, and then we realized that this was a good business opportunity, but also that we had been doing it for a long time. Personally, in his case, he was managing a property of his family back in Barcelona. I was also I was living between London, Dubai, and Barcelona back then, and I had 2 apartments, and both in Airbnb. So when I was in Barcelona, I was short letting the apartment in Dubai, and when I was in Dubai, I was short letting the apartment in Barcelona, and I was paying the rent based on this. No? So we realized we were doing this informally. So we created a business plan, we created all our vision and how to do it. And then I think the story of how we created is quite funny and curious, because we made a party with our friends in Dubai, a barbecue, and we invited like 30 to 40 friends. And we said, you know what, we're going to explain you our business idea. We want to share it with you, get your feedback. So it was, I think, October 2016, if I'm not wrong. And I say, yeah, so we're going to do this. We're going to manage your apartments in Airbnb. In Dubai, no one knew Airbnb back then. Airbnb was known more in Europe and in the US. So we explained what we were doing. We'll manage your apartment. We're going to publish in Airbnb. We're going to get tourists to come to Dubai in your apartment. We're going to clean it, maintain it. You will not even realize nothing happened. You just get money at the end of the month or after the stay. So in that same event, we had 30 clients, right? So everyone loved the idea. And we said, okay, so it looks like a business, right? So we developed further the business plan, how to make it grow, obviously make it a bit more like corporate in a corporate structure. But the problem, that was October, November. So we had all these clients in December, in New Year's Eve, which is the super high season in Dubai. And then the only problem was that in the 10th, 12th of January, we had 0 clients because everyone was going back to their apartments. So then we sit again and say, okay, so that's a good business model for the holiday season, but that's not a sustainable business. So then we started creating the more traditional property management company.
Gotcha. Yeah, that's an interesting topic that I want to touch upon like later, like how to handle the low season, or what's your personal philosophy or strategy in that. But I want to go back to like when you first started. Like a lot of people that I come when I chat, they tell me, hey, but I feel like if arbitrage as a model, as an Airbnb business model, it's way easier to get rolling and start because you just like you tackle like signing in a property and then you're good to go. And a lot of people, I feel like they're kind of afraid or intimidated by the fact of like, how can I attract like homeowners to actually to manage their property? How are they going to trust in me? So could you share with us a little bit, like when you first started, what was your strategy to make other homeowners trust in you and handle you the keys of their holiday homes?
Yeah, so this first experiment with our friends gave us a use case, and we had already the unit economics and the case studies to convince property owners. In the end, we had 30 apartments. They made like so much money because Christmas is, like, as I said, the super high season in Dubai. So with that and ourselves, we were selling something. I mean, it was much more difficult than today because no one knew about Airbnb. So we were not only convincing about our company, we had to convince the property owner about the industry. Yeah. So it's a double challenge. First, to tell them what's short term, explain them what does it mean, what's Airbnb.
Educate them.
Educate in the industry.
Yeah.
And then educate in the company. So it was a double challenge. The upside was that there was no competitors, no companies, or very few. And of course, we're competing with less people. But the challenge, I mean, was to do that. So it was a challenge, but thanks to this initial test with our friends, we had some case studies to refer to, and we were building the reputation. And then, when it comes to arbitrage, I don't know if you want to discuss it now or you want to discuss it later.
When it comes to
the difference, or
I mean, before that, I would like to ask you, like, regarding your portfolio, like do you do basically pure management? Do you have a mix, a little bit of arbitrage here and there, or like?
So we used to do arbitrage 5 or 6 years ago.
Okay.
We stopped it. And now we don't do arbitrage at all.
Gotcha. What's the reason behind it for you?
But I think arbitrage there are a lot of things to be considered. So you said it, arbitrage is very easy to access because you don't need to convince anyone. You just need to put a check and halas, you start the business.
Yeah.
But in business in strategy, if something is very easy, everyone can do it.
Exactly.
And then the unit economics are very, very low.
Especially nowadays,
because a lot of people are doing it. No? So if something is difficult, less people do it, more profits, right?
Yeah.
So that's the main thing.
No moat, no entry barriers.
No moat, exactly. So unless so then the second derivative is like, if you really differentiate yourself in other aspects, then arbitrage can work. If you differentiate because you have access to portfolio that no one has, partnership with a developer, with a family office, with someone that has a lot of stock, and you are the only one who has access to this stock, yes, that can work. Exactly. Or you build a brand. You build a very strong brand, and this brand serves in the demand side. So guests come to you rather than others. Excellent. Or you build economies of scale. You build a big company so that your costs go down and you can compete with individuals. But if you don't build something around, as you said, the moat around your business, arbitrage as such, there is no differentiator. Especially in Dubai, they will give it to whoever pays 1,000 dirham more.
Exactly. And I think it's going to get, unfortunately for people doing arbitrage, it's going to become harder because it's getting more popular. And Yeah, I agree with you. Basically, you need a competitive advantage. You need a differentiator.
Correct.
100%. So for those watching out there, now, today, how many properties do you manage in total?
So, I mean, the story, I mean, we didn't finish the story
Okay.
of
No,
the
no,
corporate
please,
story.
go ahead.
So, High Guest, we managed it during 5-6 years. We had a big, obviously, hit during COVID. We recovered very well. And now it's a business that is running on its own. It's profitable. It has very good client base, very stable and everything. So 2 years ago, we decided to carve out the software that we were using to manage our operation, which is a property management system, PMS, in the industry. And we rebranded it as Mr. Alfred. And we are offering this software together with a revenue management system to other property managers.
Gotcha.
So in the revenue management system, all in Dubai, we manage more than 900 apartments. So we have quite a lot of knowledge and know-how and access to data when it comes to the Dubai market. And we have other clients in South Africa, in Egypt, in Spain, and other countries that maybe I forget. India, I think. We're starting to work in Saudi Arabia. So we're doing this, and that's the story of the whole journey. So as a pure operational property manager, it's more than 150 units in Dubai. We have also operations in Barcelona. We used to have operations in India, in Australia, in the Caribbean, but now we are in Dubai only. Well, we're only in Dubai, more than 150 apartments, and in Mr. Alfred, more than 900 managed units.
Amazing. So recapping, you have like around 150 plus units under management on High Guest,
Correct.
and there's a portfolio of property managers or total amount of properties that are using Mr. Alfred as a software are close to 1,000
Close to 1,000
properties
Correct.
that are using Mr. Alfred as a software. And like, I'm curious to know, like, you said you started like around 2 years ago with Mr. Alfred.
Yes.
Got you. So I assume you previously were using like a market software, and it was not fulfilling all the needs that you were needing as a property manager.
Correct.
Okay. That was kind of like the reason that got you started.
Correct.
Nice. Could you tell us a little bit about like what kind of pain points did you have with your previous softwares, and like like what's kind of like the direction of Mr. Alfred?
Yeah. So I mean, the industry when it comes to software also has evolved a lot in the last years. There is a lot of funding out there, a lot of competition, but like at the beginning of short-term rentals, most of the software were hotel software adapted to short-term rental, and that's the main issue with the software, because a hotel is a building with the rooms, whereas short-term rental is 150 buildings with one apartment, right? So anyway, the distribution to Airbnb or hotels never distributed in Airbnb, so the whole market was different. Therefore, if you wanted to use a software for hotels for short-term rental, you had a lot of pain points.
Right.
So that's what we felt when we started High Guest. And from the beginning, we developed our own tech. So we did use some other softwares, good ones that were starting, that now are big and very well known. But we decided to do our own because we didn't like any. And we are quite tech savvy, and we wanted to focus a lot on technology and automation and efficiencies and differentiation to thanks to technology. Therefore, we developed our own software. So Mr. Alfred has been developed during 5 to 7 years. The brand is 2 years old only, but the software has been used by our company for more than 5 years.
Gotcha.
And it's and in my opinion, the main differentiator based on other softwares is that it has been developed within a property manager. So it has all these small things that the property managers really value, that other softwares are developed as a software company from tech people. This software has been developed by property managers that we were doing the linen change and the cleaning ourselves with my hands.
You could say by property managers for property managers.
Correct. Actually, that was our first slogan.
Yeah, it's a good one, I think. Amazing. Yeah, that's crazy. Like how if you're already like succeeding on one business model, like I think it takes like a lot of courage or risk to like venture into the SaaS business.
Yeah.
So which I want to touch later. But before that, I wanted to ask you regarding a portfolio or growth of High Guest. What's your personal philosophy? Do you like to grow by referrals? You use Facebook ads? Do you use like word of mouth? What's kind of your personal strategy?
This has evolved and changed also over time. I mean, we try to adapt on the market conditions as well. So Dubai, again, the COVID has changed a lot the environment of the Dubai industry, not only with the subleasing, but also with the Expo and the World Cup in Qatar last year. So a lot of companies have started in the last 2 to 3 years. So the market is very competitive. I mean, most of us would call it even oversupply. But in terms of competition, also there is a competition in clients, in marketing. So the CAC, the cost of acquisition of a client, has gone up crazy in the last couple of years. No? So that's why 1 year, 1.5 years, we stopped our spend in marketing. We focus on customer service, on brand, and then we got a lot of clients based on referrals and word of mouth.
Gotcha.
So that's our main source of growth.
Basically focusing on the product, like giving a good service and just like let things grow organically.
Correct. And in Dubai, in the end, there is a market on majority of landlords are investors. So if they invest in one property, maybe they own 4 more, or they want to invest in another property. So working also in this relationship, in trying to help, and we do a lot of investors consulting as well in terms of where to buy, where to invest. So we kind of help our clients and to invest, and we help them through the whole process to identifying a property, furnish it, decorate it, and then operate it.
Amazing. It's curious because like did ever like the marketing online marketing ever work for you? Because I don't know, like I still like use heavily like Facebook ads in Chile to grow the portfolio, and I know it's a completely different market, but it's very profitable. Like the cost per leads is low, and like, so did it ever work in the past, or it got like too expensive?
It does work, but as I said, also the type of landlord changed. Before, they would come to you and you would need to explain what the business was.
Yeah.
So a lead was cheaper, but the conversion rates were lower because someone would come to you and they didn't know what you were doing. Maybe whether it's a brokerage or whatever, right? So the cost per lead before was lower, but the conversion rates were also lower.
Gotcha.
And it was more a sales-driven organization where you need to meet the landlords and explain the value proposition, convince. No? Now, on the other hand, the conversions are much higher because the client, the landlord, the property owner is much more educated. So when they click on your ad, or when they go to your landing page, or they call you or whatever, they know why they are calling you. They had already made the decision before calling you that they want to do short-term rentals. Whereas in the other hand, before you had to convince them. So yes, today the CAC is much higher, but conversion rates are higher. So in the end, the cost per lead is higher, but the cost per client, maybe it's similar. Now it's more expensive as a summary. But it's people come to you knowing why they're come to you.
More educated.
Correct. So it's a different conversation. Now it's more about your brand. That's why we wanted to invest in brand and all this, in differentiation, in customer service, in technology, so that when they come to us, they are looking for a very good and reputable company to manage not the one that offer the cheapest price.
You kind of can pierce through the noise and differentiate yourself.
Correct.
I see. I understand. Nice. So what about like when it comes to like accepting clients? Do you accept any kind of host, any kind of homeowners? Do you require like a minimum period of stay under your management, or you say like it doesn't matter, it can be like for 3 months? Is that profitable, or like do you have any like minimum requirements to onboard?
Yeah, we do. Usually we say at least, I mean, there are two things. One, from a business perspective, we always recommend, but like the first at the high level is that when you do short term, you consider a 3 years time frame.
Yeah.
There is investment in furniture, there is cycles, there is seasonality, there is reviews, there is your profile needs to be known in the market. You will not get the best booking in November. In September, you might get it in April, or people start looking at you before. So there is you need to be an extended time in the market to really take the most profit from short-term rentals. So that's our recommendation. From a contractual perspective, usually 3 to 6 months is the minimum, but we never advise it. I mean, if someone comes to me and say, I want to work 3 months, I say no.
No,
because it will not work for you, not for me. We'll lose both money, reputation, relationship, and so we say no if someone comes to us at 3 months.
Yeah.
Some people maybe sell the apartment after 3 months and they need to cancel the contract. We understand that.
Yeah. Yeah, it's so hard sometimes to make homeowners understand that if you're in the real estate industry, everything is long term. We recommend at least 12 months to stay to actually get a full cycle of the low and the high season. But yeah, I feel like it's really hard. Everyone's trying to get like from the first month, like where's like my results. So yeah, we also try to like set expectations from in the beginning on the sales calls and like on the presentation. Yeah, it can get tricky, 100%.
Yeah, and in the end, I always tell the same. When you buy an apartment, you don't buy it for 6 months. You do an investment, you buy it, you mortgage for 10 years sometimes.
Exactly.
So if you make the most expensive decision, which is buying a 2 million, 3 million dirhams property, thinking about a 5 to 10 years plan, why are you not doing the same analysis when you try to generate revenue out of it?
Yeah.
Why are you so short-sighted that you just want to get the profits for the next 3 months? If the people were short-sighted 6 months before Expo, everyone would have lost the most profitable time of Dubai. So maybe today is not the most profitable month or 6 months of quarter, but if now you move out from short-term rentals, you might lose the next peak, which might be 6 months down the line. So 3 years, your short-term rental is always better than long-term rental. You don't have vacancies. In long term, you can have 1 month in between contracts.
Yeah.
So in a 3 years period, Dubai's short-term rental is always profitable. If you look at 3 months, 6 months, even 12 months, sometimes short-term is less profitable than long-term. But at 3 years, you get always the top of the cycle where short-term rental is much more profitable.
Yeah, 100%. Well, like I guess like every single business, like everything's it's a fundamental of business, like long-term thinking, kind of even like a coffee shop or whatever.
Exactly.
Stocks, like if you see like the day-to-day movement, like it will really like it will drive you mad.
Yeah, actually, maybe that's one of the consequences of social media now. Reels need to be 10 seconds, 20 seconds. Everyone in our life needs to be short, right?
100%. Yeah.
And that's not good. I mean, I don't know. I love cooking, and the best cooking and the best food, it's cooked slowly. And you cannot do the best dish at half of the time. So why we don't do this in business or in anything we do? We need to go fast. And then we miss the opportunities and the big things.
Truth. 100%. I agree with 100% with that. I wanted to ask you regarding we're talking about the low season. Every single city, every single market has a low season. And well, here in Dubai, like it's a pretty rough one because of the heat. So in my case, sometimes I have an issue in the low season in Chile, which is in order to fill up the calendar, we need to really like reduce the prices very aggressively. And at the end of the day, that will drive more revenue like at the end of the month.
Correct.
But some of the homeowners get concerned because they have this like understandable like kind of like attachment to the property, and they see like, Jesus, I don't want to give away my property for less than X. Like, do you ever face that issue, and what's your personal strategy on how to handle it?
Yeah. So one of the I mean, in HighGuest, we became very strong and very experts in revenue management. I mean, for me, revenue management is pricing, but it's also distribution. It's also understanding even the quality of the asset, the interior design, the decoration, the pictures, and all this. No? And that's why in Mr. Alfred, one of our main value propositions and differentiators is the revenue management and the pricing. And we have been doing that for 7 years now. So I think in the organization internally, we have a lot of know-how and experience in pricing and generating revenue for hosts in Dubai. And what you're saying is totally right. In the end, as I said also, in Dubai, now there are a lot of companies or individuals that are new in the market, less than 1 year, 1 year only, 1 year and a half in Dubai. When you meet someone, say you don't ask how many years have you been in Dubai. You always ask how many summers have you been in Dubai, because that's what defines your life here. No? Because summers are tough, as you said, for everything. People leave, even for normal businesses. Not only our business is seasonal, and the low season is 4 months. So you need to do a lot of strategies. You need to have repeated guests from the previous years to try to stay with you. You need to start shifting to monthly bookings with lower ADR, but as you said, higher occupancy or less cost of acquisition of the clients because you use your direct channel. So you need to be very, very. You need to touch a lot of areas in order to succeed in low season. As I said, revenue management is not going to a software and just put an automation. No, revenue management is understanding your portfolio, who is attracted by this portfolio, if they are in Arjan, in JBC, in Marina, in downtown, in the Palm, different type of travelers. These travelers, if they come from Airbnb, means more from Europe, means they book more in advance. If you are in downtown, it's maybe more a GCC traveler, they book last minute. So don't get nervous if your apartments get filled last minute. So that's the problem today. A lot of newcomers in the industry, they don't have the experience of the last 2 and 3 years, and then maybe they reduce the prices too much. They get nervous because the occupancy is low, and the prices, and there is a huge debate in my social media. I had a post about this, and it created a little bit of controversy. But I think it's happening. This summer is a tough summer. It's probably one of the toughest of the last post-COVID, probably. But again, the revenue management done it well. It makes a difference. It makes a difference in occupancy. It makes a difference in price and in revenue at the end of the month. And when it comes to managing the landlords, no, I think that was your initial question. Is also about relationship. Yeah, it all comes to the long-term goals as well.
And trust. Yeah.
I mean, I always say the same. Why are you going to cancel in a contract or leave the short-term rental in July and August when the next 6 months are the good ones?
Exactly.
Cancel in April. Cancel before at the end of high season, but don't cancel in the middle of low season or at the end of low season.
Yeah, and probably
now is the best moment to convince landlords.
Exactly.
Please tell them, wait till the end of the loan season.
Yeah, and fun fact, probably they're not gonna cancel at the end of the high season because they're gonna be like happy with all the
exactly. And then you have more time to convince them about your service, about they realize the profit of longer period of time. So it's a snowball effect, a positive snowball effect. No, so and also something that we are seeing is that a lot of in my opinion, big quantity of units are getting out from the market as well. So this oversupply will moderate a little bit in high season, in my opinion.
Gotcha. What about your personal professional goals? Do you have like some target amount of units for HighGuest for at the end of the year? Or in general, what's your overarching goal for 2024?
So for me, the number of units, I call it the vanity metrics. So it's a metric that only works in terms of ego. No, you go for events, dinner. How many units? 200, 300, 500. Yeah, but you might have 1,000 studios in International City, for example. No? So no. So these vanity metrics in terms of number of units, I'm not focused on. I want to have
Yeah.
happy clients. A good metric is when a landlord or an investor or a client of Mr. Alfred increases the number of apartments. That means he's happy. It means the client is happy. It means they are investing more in the industry. So that's a very good metric. That's a goal. So there is no numeric goal. It's to have clients happy.
Yeah, I love it. So what what are your favorite KPIs to look upon? Like, do you see reviews, I would assume, like cost, like what do you like to look?
So reviews are good,
Yeah.
but also, I mean, everything is good in combination. So reviews is good, but being over obsessed in reviews can be
Counterproductive.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Because it's something you don't control fully.
Yeah.
It's someone else's opinion, and reviews is an introduction of Airbnb, TripAdvisor, and all these in the industry, and they were very good, but also damaged a little bit because sometimes you can do things looking short term for reviews rather than long term vision. No? So reviews are important, but our company, I mean, again, after we were very strong in the KPI, so we look at everything. We have our tool technology allows us to track the review, but with the person who did it, so we can do performance reviews of the team based on the reviews. So that's something that we do as well. We check revenue. As I said, revenue management is probably our main strength. So we do ADR. We check at the ADR, the RevPAR. We check at the same time last year, the pacing, which is how people are booking today compared to last year, the same day. So the Tuesday or the Thursday of June of last year. We look at RevPAR, which is the ADR multiplied by the occupancy. Also, we check the ADR per room because your mix of apartments can change. You can have 150 apartments today and 200 next year. But these 200 studios have less rooms than 153 bedrooms.
Yep.
So you can have you can cheat yourself or your organization thinking that your ADR has increased, but it has increased because the apartments are bigger.
Yep.
What's the ADR per room? So that's a very important metric as well. If you improve the ADR per room, that's good because probably either you are doing a better revenue management or you have better assets. You have assets in better locations or better decorated, better pictures. So we look a lot on the revenue. And then we have several KPIs in terms of operations as well. But revenue management, as I said, is our main focus.
It's key.
Yeah, it's key in the industry, and that's why we are quite good at it, I must say.
Yeah. No, I know that you guys are like really solid in terms of like Dubai revenue management. That's what I've heard a lot. Like you guys really dominate. I mean, understand the local needs of the market.
Correct.
Like I imagine like because of like being on the highs and the lows of the seasons, like you get a better understanding of the.
Exactly. To give you an idea, we manage maybe around 10,000 bookings a month.
Currently?
Yeah. So through our platform. So we have the data of 10,000.
Yeah.
Have the data.
Yeah.
10,000 bookings a month in high season.
Right.
I mean, it can change. Depends on the length of stay, but rough number.
You can extract a lot of insights.
And extrapolate this at 7 years. So we have all the data of 7 years of history. Of some years is less than amount of bookings, but if you have an idea, and if you count the number of apartments in Dubai, they claim there is between 25,000.
The total supply.
The supply.
Yeah.
It's a number that is not public, but more or less the calculations are around 25,000. But let's say 1/3 are, 20% are maybe hotels that operate as a hotel, but they are short-term rentals licensed. So you remove these ones. You have a lot of individuals that only put it in Airbnb or in Booking.com like some weeks a year. But if you look at the professionally managed apartment, maybe we're talking about 10 to 15,000 apartments. So we have around 7-8% of market share. So we look at 8% of the data in a market with real data, not the data that you scrape from Airbnb or Booking.com like the DNA or other softwares.
Yeah,
Our data is transactional data.
You have everything.
So
right.
so when you start mixing that with our data scientists and obviously you start seeing a lot of trends. No? So that's why we believe we are strong in and we succeed, and our clients say so, not me.
Yeah, amazing. So Oriol, I was curious. How do you, in terms of management, time management, and like handling like the SaaS plus the property management, do you have a business partner or business partners first of all? And what about like what's your involvement on the day-to-day operations? And what are we talking about here in terms of like direct reports that you have, like middle management? Could you share with us a little bit about that?
Yeah. So first of all, the two main companies are totally separated. So different organizations, different teams, different, and we have, and to answer your question, the key to succeed is having a good team.
Yeah.
So that's the honest and real answer. But when we go a bit more detail from a corporate structure, yes, with partners. So it's important. So we have operational partners, also strategic and financial partners. So we got investment, we have shareholders that supported us in the growth.
Okay.
On one hand, and then from an operational perspective, yeah, I have reportees that. So I like to create also a dashboard, all the KPIs you were talking about. So I kind of have access to the online dashboard of business metrics.
How often do you look at that dashboard?
Every day. I have it in my phone. I can check it in 1 second.
Yeah.
And then I work a lot with my phone. With in Dubai, I don't know. My team can answer this. Not my team. I heard yesterday a podcast and she said it's not my team. It's the team because we are part of a team. No? So the team can answer this better. But in Dubai, I spend half of my day in the car. So I do half of my meetings in the car. And so I try to read everything in the phone or prepare the meetings before. And then in the car, so I kind of remember the things. But yeah, my main involvement in the companies is try to create processes in terms of working in between teams. For example, in the meeting, so everyone has an agenda. We have a clear task to be done during the week, a lot of reporting. And my main goal is that the companies can work without me. That's the if I'm doing a good job, if I disappear, and everything goes well, and it's happening because of the team. So I'm happy.
Absolutely. So you're currently both CEO of HiGuest and Mr. Alfred?
Yes.
Gotcha. And in terms of direct reports, how many direct reports do you have?
So I have 2, 3.
On each company?
No, I'm thinking.
Okay.
Counting. So in one company, 3.
Okay.
And in the other company, 4.
Gotcha. Well, what I do, I have a HR, head of HR, head of finance, head of operations, this is like a merge that I did. It's 2 in 1, reservations and host experience. And I'm the head of sales as well. Like I'm CEO and head of sales. Like I should maybe probably hire head of sales.
And sales is growing the portfolio?
Yes. Yes. Property acquisition. I feel like I used to have like 6 direct reports, and I felt I was like diluting myself too thin, spreading too thin. What do you think, like in terms of like how many people?
Well, in my case is a bit mixed. So in HiGuest, I have a GM for the whole company, and kind of she's the only reportee. The thing is that finance, sometimes I get involved.
Okay.
So that's simple. Yeah. So I counted 2 or 3, but in reality it's 1. But then I get involved in the more corporate tasks like legal, finance, things like this. So so that's, and HiGuest is running. I do more an institutional or corporate role, like handling big clients, investors, vision, strategy, and all this. But the day to day, I don't handle it. The day to day, I'm more focused in Mr. Alfred, and there, yes, I have four reportees in more functional areas like marketing, business development, product, and operations. Actually, and general services. So four reportees.
Gotcha.
So that's how we organize it.
How big is the team? In terms
So
of
in
total?
one case we have 35 employees, and in the other we have around 15. So
Okay.
total 50.
Wow.
Approx.
Yeah, that's a lot.
Yeah. that's a lot.
35 without housekeepers or with
No,
housekeepers?
including the operations team.
Including
housekeeper,
gotcha.
checking agents, maintenance. In
Okay.
Dubai is mainly in-house when you grow.
Yeah.
The outsourced model is not very profitable, and it's not very good in terms of quality.
Exactly, because of the training as well. You
Correct.
have your SOPs, your procedures, and then if you hire an external company, they will rotate the person that the housekeeper.
Exactly. There is a lot of
present.
rotation in Dubai. Yeah.
Exactly. So you have to teach them everything again, and it's hard. I see. Amazing. I'm going towards kind of a more broad question. The eternal debate. That's especially very popular among beginners on Airbnb, arbitrage versus co-hosting. What's your take on it?
So if we go, I mean, it's a very local question. So that's I've been thinking a lot about it because it's a very hot topic in Dubai recently, and also in my podcast I got a lot of people from subleasing and from arbitrage and also co-hosting. But so first of all, it's local. Each market has pros and cons. No? So if you go to Dubai is probably the toughest market I know in terms of arbitrage, no? For several reasons. First, because the license, it's cheap. Of being the license to operate in holiday homes is cheap and accessible to everyone. I'm from Barcelona. Last week they banned,
and that's a problem.
Licenses.
People think that that's a good thing, but that's a problem.
Well, barriers are very low.
Yeah.
So anyone can do a holiday homes tomorrow.
Yeah.
With $400, very cheap and easy, and very digitalized. The government in Dubai is very, very highly digitalized.
Yeah.
Second, contracts are only 1 year. The term is 1 year.
Yeah.
So you need to do an investment in terms of furniture, listing, management, training your team about the apartment, getting your reviews and everything.
Pictures.
But you don't have certainty that the contract will be more than 1 year. In reality, in Dubai, almost 2 years you always have it because of the RERA regulations, but still there is a lot of uncertainty. If the landlord sells the apartment in the middle of the first year, you're done.
Exactly. Or he suddenly decides that it's too cheap and he wants to.
You have a bit of protection, but they increase the price every year. That's the third thing.
Yeah.
So you have increases, annual increases. So your price can grow 50% in 2 years.
No.
So all your financial analysis can change in 6 months. No? So it's one of the markets I know which is arbitrage is less favorable. On the other hand, the amount of stock that comes into the market, because Dubai is developing, I think now now under development are 40,000 new apartments in Dubai. So then the access to new apartments, to do the arbitrage is easy. You go to other cities in Europe and there is no stock available. You go there, you want to do arbitrage and you cannot, because all the apartments are rented. Here, rents are 1 year. There is a lot of rotation. And there is a lot of new stock. So the access is very easy. So from a ease of doing it, the top. From a profitability perspective, one of the lowest, especially today where long-term rentals are all-time high.
Yeah. There's another thing as well. I think that I feel like it's getting more trendy, more popular, and realtors and homeowners, they are also aware of this new business model. So when they hear, oh, you want to do Airbnb with my apartment, I mean, you will have to pay a premium, buddy. I feel like
they're taking advantage of it.
Yeah, they're taking advantage of it a little bit.
Yeah,
so.
And someone explained the other day, someone did that, a landlord did that to this person, but she told me but next to me there was another one who was willing to pay this price. No? So there is a competition of and all the building public arbitrage people in Dubai rent in the same places. Now they have analyzed a little bit the market, so you will get to a tower. Everyone is paying the same super high long-term rent. Everyone is trying to get their money back. And as I said in my social media publications, someone that is subleasing or doing arbitrage, the bottom of the price that they can do is zero, because they have already paid the amount upfront. So it's a sunk cost. Whereas a co-host needs to convince as you said it before, needs to convince the host every month. So the manage the co-host business model, you are working every day to get this contract moving or rolling or continuing. Whereas arbitrage, they have a 1-year contract, they have paid the money, even they can claim that that's an investment. So they don't have any incentive to keep the price high.
Exactly.
Plus they have less experience in the market. They get nervous. So it's a cocktail that is not helping the industry, to be honest.
Yeah. I mean, related to the same topic, any common mistakes you see, I guess focusing more on like beginners, like people that have like 1 to 10 units, any common Airbnb mistakes that you see that you could like give some tips?
No, and the mistakes are not related to if you are new to the market. No. It's more related whether you analyze, you make decisions in terms of the business, long-term business. No? One of the mistakes I've done is, for example, accepting any apartment into the portfolio. So these vanity metrics of the number of units. No, I want to have 10 more there. But then you get apartments that are not good.
You get a lot of fluff. Like,
and this is something I think everyone in this industry has done. Again, I've done it several times because you want to have more apartments and more and more and more.
Yeah.
And you say yes to everything. Mistake.
Guilty.
That's the main tip I would give, because I've done it and we stopped doing it. So now we're very selective.
Yeah, guilty as charged. The same thing here. Like one thing that has worked for us that we add like in the sales presentation, we kind of add more requirements. We kind of like set up expectations. Like, look, these are pictures of like how a successful Airbnb apartment looks in terms of furniture.
Exactly.
Like this is like the minimum furniture that it should, the minimum amenities that it should have, non-negotiable. We kind of like slowly add more, like a little bit more friction. So we don't just like let anyone in, because
and that's a very good point, because as you generate more friction, I mean, it can go against you in terms of the number of units, but the client you have are long-term clients as well. So it's a way to filter the good clients, the friction. I don't know if you have this experience as well. Like the ones who really understand the friction or the barriers that you are trying to build are the ones who then stay the longer, because they understand the business as a long-term business, not as a 3 months contract.
No, 100% exactly. And I feel like even though it's true that the average client or homeowner it's more educated nowadays, there's still a gap, like a knowledge gap that we as a property managers, we need to fill, which is like, in order to succeed in this game, it is highly, highly competitive. You need to stand out. You need to be top 10 to top 20%. So you need to treat it as like a competitive sport or a competitive like a business. So you need to invest in order to like get those returns.
Exactly.
And but I think it's the job of the property manager to actually educate the homeowner. Yeah. Because that gap, it's a real thing. It's a real thing. What about in terms of like mentors in your life? Do you believe in mentors? Do you currently have any?
No, I don't have any specific mentor, like as someone that has been throughout my career or my professional life. But what I do a lot is I consult with a group of people that are around me, all my business decisions. So I don't know, being a businessman is very lonely, and you have a lot of responsibility. People don't realize the amount of decisions that we have to make on a daily basis that are, first of all, sometimes we've never done it before. We've never been trained to do, and are scary, and all the responsibility will fall on you if they go wrong.
Yeah.
If they go good, well as well, but not as much as if they go wrong. So I try to consult all the decisions with a group of people. My wife, for example, helps me a lot in business decisions, and then the investors. So I try to select investors that can add value. So I have a group of investors that I meet regularly. Yesterday I was with one of them. Now after this session, I'm meeting another investor for a strategic workshop, my former boss, so that he could be one of the mentors as well, because he helped me develop, and now is an investor, which I'm very proud of. Former colleagues that were consultants as well also helped me. They invested in the company and helped me make decisions. So I kind of reach in a moment where I know the strength of each one. So I try to distribute the questions and the doubts amongst different people.
Yeah. Yeah, it's crazy. Like, it's so true that it's lonely as like the owner of a business or as a CEO. A lot of things you cannot share with the team, or like even like, I agree. Like my girlfriend also is like a very important pillar support, but sometimes you also don't want to overwhelm. Like, I mean, like you always have to at the end of the day, there's some things that you always have to like deal just with yourself. So yeah, I recently took like some coaching. I'm being coached by this program, the Mochari method.
Mm-hmm.
And it has given me some relief. I blow some steam there, because it's actually it's one of the places that I feel like I have like the trust to where I can like.
So maybe I need to do that as well.
I highly suggest it. Has worked for me. But yeah, it's true. Cool. Amazing. Just to wrapping up. What about like so the audience out there can know a little bit more about Oriol? What do you like to do besides business? Do you have any hobbies? What do you like to do in your free time?
There is no free time first. No, I mean, try to relax with the family. I like cooking.
I saw you have some cooking food pictures on your
Really?
in your personal Instagram.
Yeah, I used to do that. Now I do more business. So
Yeah,
I cook less.
But transition from food to business.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, sports. I like to do sports.
What sport do you like?
Football. I play football. I play paddle tennis.
You play paddle?
Yeah.
Cool. Yeah. We should.
I played in the first court that was in Dubai. We used to play there like 10 years ago. Now in Dubai, it's like everywhere.
Nice.
Yeah,
nice.
paddle, football. I love watching sports. Yeah. I mean, traveling, but no time. I have kids, and kids take all my time now. So businesses and kids are the two things that are growing.
Oh, amazing. Okay, you have kids. Congrats. Amazing.
Yeah. So yeah, when there is free time, relax and kind of. But as a business owner, you can never disconnect. So
it is true.
I mean, I cannot, but I like it. I mean, we were saying about the loneliness and this, but we still do it, right? And I do it again and again and again. So
yeah,
there is some things, but there is also the adrenaline and the motivation and the challenge of business.
Yeah, 100%. Like it's hard to disconnect. Yeah, sometimes it's hard to find that work-life balance. Do you like to take like planned vacations every now and then, like kind of like complete disconnection?
No,
like no,
I don't do it, and I don't know if it's good or not good. And actually, this work-life balance, I think when you like what you do, work and life is the same.
That's true, you know.
So I mean, if someone needs to balance work and life, means that they are not happy at work, right?
Exactly. Like the whole trade-off philosophy.
Why?
Yeah, I don't resonate with that. Like.
It's like, I need to balance family and life. No, it's the same, right? So So for me, that's how I see it. So I try to do. So I don't know. Yeah, I work not 24/7, but I'm always connected. But I also delegate quite a lot. So I can, for example, now I'm going some weeks out from Dubai, for example. But I'm on holidays. I don't know. I think the team will say I'm not on holidays, but I'm on holidays. I'm not on holidays. So actually, no one knows when I'm on holidays because, and I try to do that for everything, for the business, but also for me because I like to be connected. So
yeah, I guess that's the key. Like, if somebody looks at your life, they cannot tell if like you're actually working or you're actually like on holidays. Like,
exactly.
like,
And also the time because we work with different time zones. So sometimes I work at 5 a.m. because I woke up at 5 a.m. or at 11 p.m. But sometimes at 2 p.m. I disconnect and I do some personal things. So I have again, not work-life balance. Work, family, leisure is life. So that's how I see it.
Amazing. Well, it's been an amazing chat, Oriol.
Same here.
We should definitely like in the future catch up to see how things are evolving. And it's been a pleasure. Where can people find you? What's your favorite channel? Like,
so we try to be very strong in LinkedIn. Instagram, as you said, I'm starting to publish more work-related. We also have a community in WhatsApp. We will put my email, if you don't mind, in the comments.
Absolutely.
People can read me an email if they want to be added in the community of WhatsApp. Also, we have a podcast that's called Next Gen Rentals. That it's. I think we had very interesting guests in Dubai, from Dubai, about the industry, real estate, technology, startups, and all this. So yeah, several places, but LinkedIn, it's probably the main one. But also the community of WhatsApp, I think is very interesting because we post daily.
Who's the ideal member for that community?
So people who want to invest in real estate and do short-term rental, property managers that want to improve the revenue management or use Mr. Alfred as a client. So my main activity is Mr. Alfred in social media and in the podcast and in the content that we create. It's mainly around technology of short-term rentals, property management, and revenue management. So yeah, anyone who wants, people who has one apartment and want to grow the portfolio, people that manage 200 apartments and want to improve the performance. We have this type of clients. So anyone from Dubai, from Europe, from other places in Asia, Africa, as I said. So we have clients, emerging markets mainly as well, but anywhere, everyone. And I love to talk to people. I love to share my experience and learn from the others. That's why I did the podcast as well. So anyone wants to talk to me, I'm happy to have a chat.
Amazing. Sounds great. Well, big pleasure, Oriol. Yeah, I really enjoyed the conversation.
Me too. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thanks for having me.
Thank you.